They changed up the whole platform on me. I like it though. It looks like I can add other stuff to it. So I'm gonna mess with that another time. I could do more with that. I like that. Not tonight. All right, it's all good. Let me see if the audio working. Just wild loud. Let me know if y'all can hear the sound effects on IG. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate. Hopefully you're having a great holiday season. I know it's a day after New Year's. And that's why we here getting right. Give it a few minutes for everybody to tune in. I'm on Do Not Disturb. And a few more sent out. How did everybody bring their New Year in? Was you at home? Was you out? Getting your club on? Do you believe in New Year resolutions? I know we spoke about that before a few times. It's not generally my forte. Oh, where the comments? I gotta add the comments. I forgot to do that. All right, that's topics. If y'all have any topics, shout out to everybody tuned in on YouTube and Facebook also. If y'all have any topics that y'all would like to discuss, be sure to type them in there or send them to me one off. Send them via message or whatever. I'm about to read out the topics in a second. As soon as I get them all posted. 1 second. It's been an interesting new year, though. It ain't start off like last year. We ain't had no Cat Williams yet. There's definitely been some wild shit going on, nonetheless. What's the wildest thing y'all seen during the new year so far? Or even just to kick off any new year? What's something wild you seen on, for New Year's? Just to set the new year off. Some wild shit. Let's see. Facebook side. All right, there we go. Might be a quick night. Tonight's topics. We got choosing love versus falling in love. Choosing love versus falling in love. Difference. We got keeping score. Do you like to keep score? Are you to keep the score tight? Can you protect somebody from themselves? Can you protect somebody from themselves? If someone calls you, are you responsible for for carrying on the conversation? Well, if you call somebody, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, someone calls you, are they responsible for carrying on the conversation? Same thing. And last, could you coexist in the same space with somebody you don't like, somebody you don't fuck with? I don't fuck with you. Those are the topics for tonight. Give it another minute or two. I'm not sure if I told people I was going live tonight. I told them I wasn't doing it. Nonetheless, though, it's probably still right from the new year. Got some new. See if really though around. Yeah, here we go. Get y'all get rights. All right, let me do the music now. Let me know if y'all can hear the sound effects on IG, because that shit don't be. I know you can hear it over here, but you can't hear it on IG. Sound effect, can't hear them. It's wild loud in my ear. You can hear it? You heard the applause? Can you hear that? Hopefully it's working. All right, bet. Good looks. Appreciate it. All right, so let's do it like this. Started off with a song by Really Though. Let me know if it's too loud. What up, Ronnie? How you doing? All right, all right. That was really though. I mean, definitely a part of the show. Hasn't been on in a minute. I know he's doing his thing. He's actually supposed to be through here tonight, but I guess he couldn't make it. It's all goody though. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. No more people gonna join in a little later. It's normally how it goes. But let's get it popping like this. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what we do. Getting right, bringing y'all that infotainment with the truth. Hashtag Factuals. We live with me, your host, Victor, on the man and the meaning. The sort of omens giving y'all that sight beyond sight. I ain't the freshest. Kind of. But I bust some stupid dope moves. J30 type the bet 100 to A, selling the guy, oh, hell no. Fuck out my face. You say you couldn't hear the song? Can you hear the sound effects? I wonder why you couldn't hear the song. Can you hear that? So I got the mean show lineup for y'all tonight. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy birthday to everybody who has a birthday and celebrating a birthday right now or a birthday in the past few weeks. Anybody got birthday coming up? It's been a birthday season. Going to find out a lot of people got a birthday on New Year Eve and New Year's Day and today. How does that work? You tell them Happy New Year first or Happy Birthday first? I don't know. Did I get overshadowed? If your birthday falls on the same day as a holiday, does it get overshadowed by the holiday? Or vice versa? I don't know. My birthday's a holiday. Celebrate it like that. Whoa. So, topics I got for tonight. We're going to get into it. Choosing love versus falling in love. And please leave your comments. Comment away. Comment freely. Keeping score. I think I might set it off with that. Keeping score. Can you protect someone from themselves? If someone calls you, are they responsible for carrying on the conversation? I kind of start with up. And we got, could you coexist in the same space with somebody you don't like? Somebody you don't fuck with? Can you coexist in that same space? So let's set it off with keeping score. Or which one do y'all want to do? Y'all let me know which one y'all want to set it off with. So I got, are you ready? All right, so I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y'all let me know which one y'all want to go with. 1 is versus falling in love. 2, keeping score. 3, can you protect someone from themselves? 4, right back. You can't hear it, so you can't. Let me cut this up a little bit. What about now? Can you hear me? What's going on? Yeah. So keeping score is about this, y'all. You ever do something for somebody or somebody does something for you, and because they did something for you, they feel a need to bring it up in the future, or it's like, oh, well, I did this for you, I did that for you. It's like, yo, damn, I didn't know you was keeping a tally on everything that you've done. Have you ever done that? Do you keep tallies on things that you do for people? Do you keep the score? Are you keeping score on your friends? Are you keeping score on your relationships? Are you keeping score with your family? Miss Kia, what up? Let's see if you want to join. Are you keeping score? Do you keep score? So I have a lot of people that I know that was actually like that. You'll be in a conversation and somewhere down the line, they'll start talking about things that they've done for you in the past. They want to measure it to the things that you've done, but conveniently forget some of the things that you've done just to kind of make it seem like they do more for you. Or they want to make it seem like the things that they do for you outweighs the things that you've done for them. A lot of times they may deal with money, something like finances. Empress, what's going on? Let me know if y'all want to join the live. Do y'all keep score? Have you kept score? Do you deal with people who keep score? I can't rock with people that keep score like that. Because it's like, yo, if you keep a score, like, are you doing things just to satisfaction, say, I did this for you, like just to hold it over somebody's head? Yeah, I did this. Are you doing it for yourself or are you doing it for them? Let me know if y'all want to join in on the live. Shout out to everybody on every platform. Facebook, what up? YouTube, what up? Empress, let me know if you want to join the live. Miss Kia, let me know if you want to join the live. Anybody that wants to join, let me know. Put join. So we're talking about keeping score. You ever have those people around you that keep score? How do you deal with them? How do you deal with people who keep score? I don't like dealing with people that keep score. I'm going to try to join you. Have you ever kept score before? Sometimes it does call for you to have to kind of, sometimes it may call for you to talk about something that you've done for somebody. In certain cases. How you doing, kid? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
All right, all right. We're talking about keeping score right now. Like sometimes it may call for you to have to bring up an instance of something that you've done. But I don't know if it calls for, just constantly bringing up things that you've done, to hang over somebody's head. In those instances when people say, oh, you never did this for me, you never did that. You can't hear Rhonda? How you doing, Rhonda? Can you hear me, Miss Kia?
I can hear you clearly.
Is it low?
No. Maybe because I have my earbuds in. I don't know.
Okay. Ronnie says God is not being a genuine person. God will bless you when you help others without expecting it in return from the same person or in the same manner. Facts. I like that. Go ahead and
I think that people who keep score, they just in a petty mode.
All right. Well, Miss Kia, tell the people who you are, then I want you to go ahead and tackle it.
It's your girl, Miss Kia, the only person in the world who actually ends her business and drinks her water. All the way up until 2025, I was drinking Angel's Envy and still minding my business.
Angel's
With a
Envy.
glass
I love
of water.
Angel's Envy.
I know that's my shit now.
You just got to put on the Angel's Envy. I like it.
I like it. It's smooth.
Right. Empress, how you doing? I hear
I'm
echo. Is
good.
that me?
I think it's
Hey,
me.
Empress.
Hi, Miss Kia. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And yourself? Happy New Year.
Happy blessed New Year to everyone. Do you still hear that echo?
I don't know.
A
Oh, y'all
little
hear it?
bit, but no.
Let me
I don't.
turn it down.
I don't hear it now. I don't hear it now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, so Miss Kia, I do kind of hear a little bit.
Let me see if I
Miss,
can turn my speaker off.
okay, you got a speaker. Okay, that's what it is. So, Miss Kia, so keeping score. Got to talk about keeping score. Rhonda, you want to join Rhonda? Or Kennedy, if you want to join, let me know. So talking about keeping score. Like, do you keep score? Do you know, do you know people that keep score? Like, how do you deal with people that keep score? That want to, bring up tallies on things that they've done. How do you deal with that?
I'm no way, shape, or form perfect, but I'm a person who want to keep score. Like, you want to be in your petty books and keep score about the stuff that I did for you, then I ain't going to deal with your ass. Because at the end of the day, like, I do things out the kindness of my heart. I don't look for nothing in return. But if I feel like I need to ask you for anything, and once in a blue moon, I've rarely asked anybody for anything. But if I do, and you want to be like, oh, well, I did this for you and I did that for you, guess what? I ain't fucking with you. I ain't got time for petty boots because at the end of the day, if you're family, if you're friends, we supposed to have each other's back no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only the real people will hold you down and not keep score. But if you feel the need to keep score, then you want to be in your petty boots and be in your emotions and shit. Like, go ahead somewhere. That's just how I feel about it. Like,
Okay, I like that. Empress, how you doing? Empress, tell the people who you are.
I am Hempress Simoki. I am a world reggae singer, and I am doing good. I hope everybody's having a blessed new year.
All right. So, how do you feel about keeping
I
score?
don't do this. I feel like if I'm going to give you something, if it's me, I'm not going to give you something where it's going to have me in a position where I absolutely have to have it back for one.
Yeah.
So if I'm giving it to you, I'm not expecting it back, especially if it's a good friend. We're not counting. We're not keeping score because that table is going to turn. That karma is going to come right back around one day. And then you won't have to feel a certain type of way asking then the other person that did it for you.
Yeah.
But I think people that keep score is because either one, you're giving somebody something that you absolutely have to have back. But in that case, don't keep whacking it up and then blow up later. You have to be open and tell them, I really need this particular one back. Or it's something probably deep rooted in them where they're just, I just don't, I'm like Miss Kia. I don't deal with people that have that type of mentality. And you're saying, how do we deal with them?
Yeah.
I just leave them where they are and I stay in my own, environment. I can't be in an environment with people that are like that.
Okay.
yeah. And there's like a lot of people who have animosity. Like, they obviously have some type of animosity towards not just you, but anybody that's in our circle. They're like, oh, I did this for such and such and such. And they ain't even had the audacity. Like, it don't even have to be something such as like giving. It could be like a words of advice or just being there for them.
Yeah.
And they want to keep score of that stuff. Like, what type of person are you? Like, what that defines your character. Yeah, like, and you keep bringing up bullshit. Like, you did something for me in the past, and I did something for you in the past. Okay, let's just settle the score. But at the end of the day, like, if I ride with you, I'm not going to throw stuff in your face and tell you what I done did for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to.
A lot of times people like to do stuff like that in the group setting too. Like, they like to just bring up, like, and just try to like blurt it out. Like, oh, I did this. Oh, what about the time I did this for you? I did that for you. I just
and try to embarrass you in front of people. Like, it's supposed to be between us, not for everybody else to know. And like, you're doing it to make yourself feel better, but I thought we were doing it to make each other feel better and help each other out. But you're only saying it. Yeah, you're just doing it just to embarrass me. Like, yeah, I did this. Like, that's not for everybody to know.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's going to make you not even want to deal with that person no more. Like, your friendship is going to be sour at that point because you can't even trust them or, call them for help. That just shows what type of friends you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And not even friends, family do it too.
There's people in general. People in general, like if you can't do something out the kindness of your heart and forget about it, like you said, you're not supposed to do for somebody with expectations of anything else. A lot of times people do for other people with the expectation of getting in return, or they'll expect because they did something for you, like, you know what, I did this for you, or I took care of that for you, you owe me one type mentality. And it's like, nah, I really don't owe you shit. Like, you did something for me, I appreciate it, good looks. I mean, you got my thank you. I told you thank you. I don't owe you shit. Now unless we discuss, like, yo, unless we discuss some type of quo type of thing, whereas, if I do this for you, you do that for me, all right, cool. But if you're gonna do something for somebody, you shouldn't dangle that over their heads, because it's like you all said, that shows the type of person that you really are. In the long run, in the short run, it's like you kind of got some type of wickedness about you, as to where it's like, yo, you got to hold something over somebody's head. You want to hold them, captive to something that you've done, to try to make them feel like you're better than them.
Right.
And
then you end up burning bridges when you start keeping score. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do that. Like, everybody needs somebody in their life. Everybody, and to have their back. You're going to need somebody. And then when you turn around and you ain't got nobody, it's because you burned that bridges, because you want to sit there and keep score. Like, who the fuck keeps score about what the stuff that people do for them, or what you done did for them? Mm-hmm. Everybody needs somebody sometimes. You might fall on hard times. You can't even call your mans up because you done burned that bridge with that person. Because you think that because of what you did for them, that, they need you. Sometimes people don't need them, but you want to need everybody. Somebody needs somebody sometimes.
Yeah, at that moment, you might have just been the person that been, able to help them out. So Ronnie says people with low frequency tend to keep score. Okay. But you know, Chris?
That karma is a bit much to deal with, and people forget that. Mm-hmm. It's going to come back around the block, and you're going to be faced with the idea that you were running around saying, all I did for this person, and then now you need them. And like she said, like Ms. Kia said, you can't call on that person now. You've burnt the bridge. Now who are you going to call on? And that could have been somebody that was really reliable that would answer right away. But to me, if you take it to the level of now you want to talk about it openly in front of other people, that's just petty. You were doing it on purpose so that you could diminish me as a person, because you wanted it to look like you were taking care of me. Yeah. And I think people have insecurities who do that. That means you're insecure and you want people to believe you have the ability to take care of someone.
Mm-hmm. Right. Send the request. It's not allowing me to join you. Send the request, please.
And like, I know for me, I caught myself doing that a couple of times where I had to take a step back and be like, shut up. Like, I literally had to tell myself, shut up, because having a conversation with a family member. And I'm like, after everything I done did for this motherfucker, that's exactly what I said. Everything I did for this person, you telling me you can't even pick up the goddamn phone, and, you got to call me back, but I don't hear from you. And then you were like, oh, well, you don't call me. Like, I'm not keeping score, but I felt some type of way. And at that moment, I was in my feelings. And some people be in their feelings because they be like, well, damn, I was there for you, but you can't even do this little thing for me, like something like picking up the phone. Maybe I wanted to talk to you about something. It could be something so small, but they'll hang that over your head. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all like, sometimes as a person, you have to actually self-reflect on what you say and how you say it and how you handle your actions too as well.
Let's talk about that. Is that considered keeping score, y'all? If like, like she said, like, oh, all I've done for you, the least you could do is pick up the phone. Would you call that keeping score?
Yeah, that's keeping score.
I think some people can get to a point where they feel like, I'm now giving you so much of my time, and I want that amount of time from you back. And I think that really is a matter of perspective, depending on how that person's life is. Because I have friends that are married with children. I have friends that are single. It's a little bit different with giving my time to people that are single, because their time is open. And my time may be open. But if if I have a full family that I'm taking care of, my time may not be that open. Okay. So I think it's a matter of perspective. And I think we need to remember that a person may want to give you a lot of their time and they just don't have the room for it. But it needs to be stated. People, you can say that, hey, let me call you back. I've got some things I'm doing right now. But like Miss Kia said, pick up the phone, text back, send a message back a couple days later. Listen, I was sick. I had a sore throat. I couldn't speak for days. Give some sort of, if you're a friend, if you're a real friend, give some sort of maybe explanation. But then from the opposite side, if that's your friend, you don't want to start speculating what's happening on the other side until you really find out, because then you're prejudging the situation before finding out what really it is.
Exactly.
Okay. Welcome, Miss Anytime Anywhere. How you doing?
Hello, what's up, John? Hey, Empress. Yeah.
Hey.
Tell the people who you are, fam, and then we talking about keeping score. So, introduce yourself and then go ahead and tackle the topic.
What's up, everybody? Mr. Anytime Anywhere here. I want to tell you a little bit of my vision for the world. My vision and what I choose to create. I want a world that's winning, that's worthy, inspired, natural, and sexy. And I believe once families and people are getting wings in their life, they take care of themselves, their families, communities, cities, and eventually the world. I got a question for y'all. Real quick. Listening? Can I ask you a question? Ms. Empress, can I ask you a question? Ms. Key, can I ask you a question?
Is this on topic? Go right ahead.
I'm listening.
Just a quick question to that vision. And what does every great player and every great team have in common?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
There's no I in team.
They have a great coach.
Exactly. They have a great coach. My name's DeLorean Moore. I'm that great coach, Mr. Anytime Anywhere. Salute.
All right.
And yes, teamwork makes the dream work. And to the question, keeping score. Say it again. Reword it from me so I can hear it.
We're talking about keeping score. Like, how do you deal with people that keep score? Like, or have you ever kept score? What does that look like? What is it to keep score?
Like tit for tat? Like, yo, I just bought you that chicken sandwich. You owe me one next time?
Yeah, something like that. Or just bringing up stuff that you've done for people. Or like if somebody was to just bring up stuff that you've done, like that they've done for you, like especially around people, or just start talking about stuff like, like what is that for? What up, Courtney? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Have I kept score? Yes, absolutely. I think human beings by nature, we have a natural tendency to, we live in a compensatory world. Like, in order for me I'm hungry, I eat. I give things, not always expecting something in return, but there's a reason I'm giving. So keeping score, absolutely. Every time I go to the bank and deposit money, I keep my score. Like, I want to make sure that. So yeah, I keep score.
I think he's asking too, then after you keeping score maybe for yourself, then are you like running around and not running around, but like if you're in a forum of different people, are you going to share that information with everyone about all you've done for that person while they're there in front of them? Like, is that something you do?
Like, do you have
so like to me, yeah, and to me that would be a different question. You know what I mean? That was such an open-ended question. What I hear when in that, like, am I doing something in order to get
back from somebody's background?
That's Mr. Anytime.
Okay.
You're asking me with these earbuds and they hear everything. Is it sounding better now?
A little bit.
Yeah, I was in a family room. They all watching Equalizer and Man Live with the surround sound. So, what I was saying to what Empress said, the way it was worded there is like, am I doing things to get stuff in return? I would say no. And the people that do that, I mean, people are going to be people. I actually trust a person like that. I trust that they're going to be exactly who they say they are.
Okay.
I know that person is like, hey, you want to go out to eat and they pay for me? I'm pretty sure I already know that that's more of a deposit for them in their bank and they're going to be looking for something in return. For me, no, I don't actually do things with an expectation that they'll come back.
Okay.
I'm complete.
Yeah. So let me read this. So Ronnie says, does keeping score come off as being bitter sometimes? Sometimes it can be. It all depends on the person, I guess, in the manner that I guess they bring it up to you. Sometimes people, like to hold things over your head so they can make it feel like, so it can make them feel like they're better than you, or better off than you. Like, I'm not sure if it's all. What up, Bless? What up, fam? Who else is joining? Lady Shandy, how you doing? Salute to everybody. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy holidays. Anyone whose birthday, and birthday it is, birthday past, birthday coming up. Happy birthday. So we talk about keeping score right now, everybody. So I'm not sure if keeping score is always a bad thing. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of an instance as to where it was was necessarily a good thing. However, I would say that, like I said, I know in the past I may have kept score before. It's not anything I do now. I don't do things for people and then, hold it over their head. It may have been times in the past where people say, "Oh, you don't do anything for me, or you don't do anything for me. You haven't done anything for me." It's like, whoa, I just did this for you. Like, what are you talking about? So, like, that's what I'm saying. Is that keeping score? Is that just when someone brings it up that you just reminded them, hey, this has happened? To me, I think more so keeping score is like, yo, man, I just paid your bills. I just did this for you. I just did that for you. Like, yo, I mean, you ain't doing nothing. I mean, or you can
living. We ain't kicking nobody off for you.
What up? So I mean, like, keeping score to me is more so. I don't know. To me, it has more of a negative tone to it, negative feel to it, and I'm not sure if I could find any positive in it.
I would say the only thing that came to mind just now for me listening to everyone is that if it's not about money itself, it could be about things, or it could be about hey, I've
right, Ronnie.
I've cooked at your house 5 times. It's time for you to cook at my house, or something like that. But what happens is you're still keeping score, and maybe it's because they want 100% equivalent reciprocity. Mm-hmm. They're feeling like they're just not getting back what they're putting out. That could be it. But again, if you feel that way, I think it's a good idea to kind of openly talk about that and not keep that under wraps and then wait until you blow up and say, all I've done for you. Mm-hmm. As though what they've done for you is not equivalent. It's like you're feeling like you really are not getting that reciprocity. That's the only way I can flip it to say something maybe on the behalf of that person that's keeping score.
Yeah.
And like you said, like somebody said about, them being in our low vibrations and whatever. It's all like when they get angry, upset, what I'm saying, they're at their lowest and they feel like everybody is moving on with their life and doing whatever they got going on. Like, you don't know what other people got going on. So here you come with this negative energy, talk about what you done did for people. But at the end of the day, like, people done did for you. So who are you to hang this stuff over people's head? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it'd be like, where's all of this coming from? Like, I thought you was my boy, or I thought you was my girl. Like, right. Why are you bringing this negative energy into my circle? At this point, like, nobody's going to want to deal with you. It don't even matter, like, if it's something small as dinner or, putting gas in the tank or picking me up or anything. If you want to hang that stuff over my head to make yourself feel better, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's a problem within themselves that they need to figure out.
Courtney says, keeping score does happen a lot when reciprocity isn't present. All right. And Ronnie says, so in this case, if people keep score, maybe they want to feel appreciated or valued and highlighted, and highlighting what they've done to receive reciprocity. Now, I've been a part of that in certain instances, and it's like reciprocity doesn't always. As you said, the chat's frozen on your end. Okay, so a lot of times, like, what does reciprocity look like? Does it mean that they're doing the same thing that you do for them? Like Hemper said, like if I came over, I cooked 5 times, maybe it's your turn to cook. But, maybe that person's looking at it, okay, like, I picked you up and brung you here. all these times. I got you. Maybe I came and got you from here and did this, or so sometimes reciprocity doesn't look the same to everybody. So I believe that all comes down to conversation. So sometimes you may just be wondering, like, hey, you know what? I've been doing this for you, and sometimes people don't look at the other things that is happening around that's being done. Doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that they maybe not just focused on that. They just maybe want the same thing that they're doing for you in return. Maybe is that a love language because I'm cooking for you. Maybe I want you to cook for me, or because I'm giving you a massage. Maybe I want a massage. Maybe they're not looking at, okay, but I just came, I just did your dishes, or I bought you groceries, or it was raining outside and I picked you up and took you to work. Maybe they're not looking at those things. And sometimes, reciprocity isn't always just the thing that you actually are doing for them. A lot of times it may be, hey, I called you in the morning and woke you up for work. I'm making sure that you get up in the morning, that you're not late, because you have tendencies of being late. So I'm making sure that you're awake. So sometimes it's not going to look the same as what you're actually doing, but little things count.
Yeah, you gotta, like you said, you have to communicate, because it's all like, even if you're communicating with someone, you can be like, look, I don't want nothing in return. I'm just doing this because, I got you. You my boy, you my girl. Like, what I'm saying? I'm not looking for anything in return. Like, some people don't know how to just do that. But when they, like you said, when they want to just hold stuff over your head, or they want to tell you about what they done did for you, it's all like, dude, I just did stuff for you at the kindness of my heart. Now you want to bring this shit back up. So now I'm gonna bring it up. Now y'all both going back and forth about what y'all done did it for each other, and now everybody's keeping score. Like, that's not how friendships or anything works.
Mm-hmm. So Courtney says having reciprocity is about effort and doing what you can. It doesn't have to be equal. All right. Somebody said something.
Yeah, that's me. I'm confused. Reciprocity and keeping score is two different things.
Yeah.
So you talk about reciprocity and keeping score, because I be getting lost when things get like they're not the same.
Yeah, that
clear agreements ain't the same. Like, is this? I don't understand. When you say, are we talking about people who keep score and then throw it back in your face? Or are we talking about somebody like, if I'm always picking up somebody and then I get to show a person like, hey, that costs gas, money.
No, we're not talking about that. No, we're talking about like, you do something, they do something for you, or you do something for them, and they want to keep score about how many times they done did something for you. And then when you're around people, they're just going to keep bringing it up about what they done did for you. Like,
yeah. And even around other people. So Bless says, I can see Courtney's point. I typically lead with kindness. However, if there is not reciprocal over time, then I have to learn it's easier to just match energy. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So Miss Anytime. So what what are you saying? You trying to decipher like what we're talking about between? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was confused because keeping score, or like, is a person throwing it back in somebody else's face what they do? Is that like the type of keeping score we're talking about? Or keeping score like, I got clear agreements with my wife, or I got clear agreements with my friends, and they're not fulfilling their end of the bargain, and I'm like, yo, I've done this, and this. That's keeping score too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm keeping score that I'm playing clear on my agreements, and you ain't clear on yours.
Okay. Well, so
is that reciprocity, or is that keeping score? I'm confused. That's what that makes sense of what I'm confused at.
Yeah, he's saying that they're two different meanings, basically, right?
No.
I think if I could clear up what I was saying,
I'm trying to. I'm thinking of a. Well, go ahead and say what you're going to say. I mean, and I'll articulate how I want to articulate. Was that you talking, Hempers?
Yes. I believe what I was trying to convey is that the only way I could defend the person that's keeping score is if that person feels like they're not getting reciprocity. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and I received that. Keeping score more so. I'm not sure people. Sometimes people will throw things in your face to keep, like, to talk about reciprocity. But a lot of times, It has nothing to do with that. When they're keeping score, they just wanting you to know that I did this. And they want everybody else to know that this is what I've done. I had a friend that used to, any chance he got, he would bring up things that he's done for somebody, even if that person isn't there. It's, oh, I did this, I did that. I mean, I've given this person this, I gave you that, and da. Just the other day, I did that, and it's like, all right, where's this going? Like, what's the point?
I think they do that just to make themselves feel better about what they done did for people. But in actuality, you're supposed to feel good if you're doing it out the kindness of your heart.
I think it's insecurity. I think they want people to look up at them like they've done something great or that they're bigger than who they really are.
Yeah.
They want they could be jealousy that people are looking up to you. And so to douse out how others are viewing you in a group setting, they want to make it look like, well, no, I'm the one that's done this for him. Right. Don't look up to him, look up to me.
Well, let me
like they don't want you to get that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to anyone?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Let me ask this. Yep. Should you not feel good when you do things for others? Should you not feel good about yourself when you do things for others?
No, I think it should be. I think a person gets to be neutral. If you're doing it because that's who you are,
that's all.
Like if that's who you are and that's what you up to, that's just what you up to. That's what your stand on your belief is for life. You pick up the trash off the floor every time you see a piece of trash, or you got a family member, you take care of them. That's how that person is being great.
Yeah.
And if they're being great, greatness doesn't come with any rewards or accolades. It's just you being great because that's what you choose to be, or who you choose to be, or what you choose to be. What I wanted to praise on back to the Empress and that part, and not to like cut off what you're saying, Vision, about how you should intrinsically feel about giving or receiving, because I know a lot of people who give all day and don't know how to receive.
Yeah.
When people receive all day and don't know how to give, they both two sides of the same coin. Neither one of them are better or worse. They just got the same energy and just polar opposites, but the same in degree. But to Empress' point, I think those people that might be jealous or saying it, I think they're really they don't get it. They don't get acknowledged, and they in pain.
Okay. Right.
And don't make it a habit of always coming to me when you have other people that you can go to. Because then at that point, you start keeping score. Like, why does this person always come to me? Because they know in the back of their mind that they can come to you because you'll actually do it. But at a certain time, like, you don't know what I got going on. I can help you, but not all the time. And when I tell you no, then you want to hang stuff over my head. Like, don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
Sometimes when people get to talking, it's got to tell them to shut that shit up. Because, like, I don't want to hear that all the time. Like, yo, man, sometimes you got to put their brakes for them. Like, you're going to stop bringing shit up that you've done, or just don't do anything for me anymore.
Right.
Because I get tired of, like, I'll be tired of hearing what you've done for me, knowing I've done shit for you, because I don't bring the shit up that I do. Like, and I know I've had to personally have that conversation with somebody before, to the point where then they start, oh, I didn't know I was doing that. I'm not doing it for that. Nah, yes, you are. So what are you doing it for? Maybe you do it so much that you're just not conscious that you do it. But what are your reasons for doing it? And I've seen people do that to other people so much. And it's like, when they do that to other people, I still just kind of like, just Homer Simpson on them and just kind of fade off the screen on them. Because it's like, you do that to somebody, you're capable of doing that to anybody. And it's like, I don't want to be around that type of energy. I don't want to be around that type of aura, just like that type of person. And it's like what is it for?
And then you have to ask ask yourself, but you got to ask them, like, so before you came to me or before you called me to ask me something, right? What have you done to help yourself? I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself, because every time, and then you feel like every time you turn around, this person is asking you for something. And they, like I said, they want to just keep saying what they done did for you. But what are you doing to help yourself? How are you bettering yourself? Mm-hmm. And because I told you no, now you getting mad at me because I told you no. I have the right to say no. Because at this point, like every time I turn around, you're asking me something. And as soon as I say no, now you got a whole problem. Like, what's the issue here? Like, what's going on? Like, obviously, you got something going on that you're not communicating to me. I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself.
So let's do it like this, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to hashtag Factuals, your one stop for information and entertainment. We call that infotainment and the finest of fuckery. Let's get into the next topic. You know what? I'll do it like this. Hempress, I'll let you choose a topic. We got 1, choosing love versus falling in love. We got 2, can you protect somebody from themselves? 3, if someone calls you, are they responsible for carrying on the conversation? Or 4, can you coexist in the same space with someone you don't rock with, somebody you don't fuck with, somebody you don't like?
Oh, wow. That's kind of tricky because I would love to talk about the first topic, but the last one is juicy too. In fact, I've experienced being in an environment with people I don't rock with. It is very difficult. I do a lot to protect my own peace. And a lot of times if you live a different way or you eat a different way, your morals and values are completely different than the people that you're around, that you are, or in your environment or you're in theirs. Either way, it causes you to now either walk on eggshells when they're around or change who you are to kind of appease them. And I had to check myself on that. Like, why should I try to douse out who I am to make you feel good? Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to diminish. Why can't I shine? I bring joy and laughter in the room, as they said it in a joke. Is that something you're jealous of? So I'm not supposed to be who I am and make people feel good when I'm around? And so I want this message to go out to people. Do not douse out who you are. Try to retain the authenticity of who you really are, no matter what environment you're in, because people will swallow you whole and they won't care. They want control, and they want control of you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. My bad, I couldn't help myself. But go ahead, Miss Kia.
What was the question again? What was the first? Well, you went with the first or the last question.
Can you coexist in the same space with somebody you don't rock with, somebody you don't fuck with?
Yep, sure do. Do it all the time. And
I'm not talking about your kids.
really
no.
no. I just don't. I don't say nothing. Like Empress said, I don't dim my light to make people comfortable. If I have to dim my light to make you feel comfortable, that's a you problem, and it's not my problem. I really don't care if you don't like me, don't fuck with me, don't rock with me, whatever you want to call it. You can talk about me, but you won't step to me. That's one thing you will not do. But at the end of the day, we can agree to disagree, but I don't have to like you to kick it with you either. You know, I'll just say my piece and just keep it moving. Like, some people just don't know how to just do that. They'll be like, oh, they'll talk mad stuff. And you can tell when somebody's talking about you because they'll keep looking at you and you'll feel the energy and that shift in the energy change. Like, oh, there's an elephant in the room. And you already know what it is. But I don't have to, I can coexist being in the same room with my op. I ain't got to say nothing. Not the op. Yep. I'm gonna be myself and you ain't going to like it. And it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Because like I said, it's a you problem. It's not my problem that you don't like me. I love me. The people around me love me. So that's why we're still in the same room.
All right. All right, Miss Anytime.
Make sure I be understanding the question. I think I'm slow sometimes because everybody be agreeing and I just feel like I don't really know. Like, the question is, can I coexist with somebody I don't rock with?
Yeah, in the same space.
Like, at work?
Yeah.
Like,
anyway.
Yes, called humanity.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
Yes, on this planet right now. Yes. Coexist with any people I don't rock with.
Even at work. He said at work. You must got
myself. Like, hold on. Like, even I'm my biggest op. So yeah, I coexist with myself all the time.
Okay.
I don't like some of the things I do for myself. Right? There's a lot of things. Like, I look at I do a lot of shadow work. personal development work, y'all. So you hear my answer, they might sound jaded and it might not have like an agree to disagree conversation to it. I look at myself, yeah, I coexist with myself in my own space all the time. That's why I read the Bible, go to church, I do all of these things to uplift myself. So I look at myself first. Other people, not as much.
Okay.
And I like to get real clear on definition because a person's peace, you know, to Ms. Empress' point, can you have peace in an environment that's chaotic?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a
I believe so.
And the reason I say that is like the definition I have for peace is just being still and not running my mouth or saying anything to control a situation or manipulate a situation. But like if I'm correcting something, that still might be in peace. Like I correct my kids all the time, not because I want to control them, it's because this is peace for this environment. So I don't know if I jaded the question or shifted it too far from if it was a certain way that it goes. But my answer is yeah, I coexist with the world all the time.
All right.
And people I don't like. Even when I'm, especially 8 a.m. in the morning when I'm trying to get to work on the road. I coexist with people cutting me off all day long. I don't run them off the road because they cut me off.
Oh man, nah, I like that angle as well. And yeah, I'm with you. Like I do it all the time as well. Like I don't always have to exist. I don't always have to like somebody or fuck with somebody to coexist. Like the thing is like if you're already who you are, they can't take your shine. They can't dim your light. You could be in the same room. You don't have to pay them attention. Of course, you know they're there. Don't mean you have to go extra out of your way to go try to be extra. Go extra. Hard. No homo. Like to pretend that they're not there. You know they're there. You don't have to be someone different or behave in a different manner just because they're there. If they take you off your rocker, that means there's something that's within you that's having you feel their presence or acknowledge their presence enough to even make you feel that way. And I had to get to a point where I had to learn like to not feed into that energy, because it used to be like, I don't fuck with that person. I can't be in the same space with them because I'm gonna have to approach them. I don't have to. I don't have to acknowledge them. I could acknowledge that they're there, and I could just be myself. So it came down to just me having to check myself on like, how am I giving this person that much power, that much control over me, as to where I have to now feel a certain way because or behave or move a certain way because of their energy. Yeah. It costs you nothing to pay me no mind. Exactly. And it's like, I had to actually learn that. I had to actually come to realization that, damn, that person has control over me in this moment.
Energy is real. If you can feel that negative push, it's real and it's not comfortable. So sometimes if it gets, when I've been in a situation like that, sometimes I literally have to remove myself. I'll go take a drive or whatever. I've done that in the past, because some people's energy, it's infectious, just like joy and excitement and happiness is infectious. So is that negative low vibration. It's just as infectious if you allow it to soak in. And sometimes if you feel like it seems to be soaking in and you're not able to block it, you need to remove yourself.
Yeah. So,
I mean, not necessarily remove yourself permanently, because if you're dwelling with someone or if you're going to work with somebody, you're going to see them all the time, but you may need to just remove yourself temporarily until you can collect yourself and come back.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said do unto others as they don't.
I was doing so much comment.
No, but it's true. Like, energy is real. We all have felt it. We don't know what to call it, but we feel it. And I don't like to feel uncomfortable energy, even if I'm at work. Like, if you're that close to me and I'm feeling that negative energy and you're acting like you can't give me eye contact, and I'm saying good morning and everybody's saying good morning but you, I am not going to run behind you to try to beg you to be kind or to acknowledge me. I'm not doing that. but I will remove myself if I have to, if you're directly next to me, but I'm not going to, like we've talked about, I'm not going to just not be me.
You know, women, we are the worst enemies because at the end of the day, I done seen a lot of women be like, oh, I don't like her, and can't even give a reason of why they don't like somebody. And it's at the point to where like you don't even know them. And I had this person tell me, I knew like a group of girls didn't like me. Did I care? No. You know, I just did my job. And then one day, one girl was all like, you know, you're real cool. I was all like, thanks. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't being big headed, but it was like, thank you, because at the end of the day, I was not put on this earth for anybody to like me. You don't have to like me. But at the end of the day, like I said, I love me. So I know when that energy shifts and people will be like, oh, I can't even be in the same area as that person. I'm like, I'll be looking at you like, I really don't care. Like, that's it. That's your problem, not mine. There's something inside of you that you just feel like you don't have to like people.
Yeah.
Everybody's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might not like you just because of what you have or what you do or how you handle yourself. The way I handle myself is probably different how you handle things.
I coexist with my
Guess
kids.
what?
I don't like them all the time.
I don't care. I give zero fucks. I really give zero fucks if a person don't like me. I feel like, well, goddamn it, I love me. Love all of me. So
yeah, I can be in the same conversation with somebody I don't fuck with. I mean, I'm not gonna change my steps. I'm not gonna change my views. I'm not gonna change the way I move. I'm not gonna change nothing because somebody else is right there.
mm-hmm.
I mean, we could be standing in the same circle. I'm not gonna move myself because you're there. I mean, and that's
What's that saying? What you eat don't make me shit.
Yeah, but it's not always the initial. Like he said, anything is reaction. So like, it's not always gonna be that way. I will acknowledge that it's times this way. If I want to take somebody, face off, then I may have to remove myself or may attempt to try to take someone's face off. I'm not saying I'm always going to be at peace with somebody, because it may be something that has happened as to where initially I may be in this zone. But if I remove myself and then or time has shifted, depending on the circumstance, I get over it and it's like, I move beyond it. But certain things maybe I won't move past so easily. So, I can't say that it's always going to be that way. It may be a time it's where like, yo, nah, I ain't letting shit slide. It's on sight. It may be the case. It may be something that's happened. It's like, yo, it's on sight, and that's real. Fuck it. How Redman said, I ain't letting shit slide. However, certain things is like, at a certain point, it's like, yeah, nah, whatever. Fuck it. But because I don't fuck with you doesn't necessarily mean that I can't be in the same space as you. Doesn't mean that you got that energy over me that's where it's like, yo, this your existence got me like, fuck this nigga, man. I guess I can't believe he's sitting here. You see me sitting here, why ain't you leaving? Move, motherfucker, shit. You see me here. Be bothered. I'm bothered. Gawa.
Sometimes you don't want to do. Sometimes you don't want to outburst. You don't want to do it. I did it one time, literally at a funeral. It was terrible. At a funeral, so bad. I had to tell one of my cousins because she was trying to come and hug and kiss on me, and it was something that my cheek to be loving, and there was something that she did. Yes, family come and kiss you on the cheek, because they want to hug or whatever. Oh. And for me, I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but sometimes you have to come right out and tell them, listen, there was something that you did really foul to me a long time ago. And I know it was some time ago. I'm not ready to unpack it today, but that is why you're feeling that energy from me. So you need to back up. And sometimes, and that was me really putting my foot down respectfully and tactfully, because, we're at a funeral. But sometimes you just have to tell them. because, all that energy you're feeling, like you said, you can't always avoid it. And I admit it's happened to me where I've had to just come straight out, look, straight arrow to the forehead, you're going to get it. And you're either going to accept it or you can choke on it. Either way.
Hey, yo. But yeah, can't miss any time.
But generally, I'm really nice, so that doesn't always happen. But listen, if you have to, hey, go ahead. I'm sorry, I mean.
All right. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in to #Factuals, your one stop for information and entertainment. We call that infotainment and the finest of fuckery. All right, Miss Anytime, I'll let you choose the next one. We got choosing love versus falling in love. We got can you protect someone from themselves? And if someone calls you, are they responsible for carrying on the conversation?
So, Empress, what was the second one you wanted?
It was the first question. It was the first topic. What was the first one?
Choosing love versus falling in love.
That one.
That one.
Let's go. Let's rock. Let's lean with it. Rock with it. Lean with it.
What was the thing? I'm sorry.
All right, so, matter of fact, let me type it in here.
Break it down, Devontae.
Thank you.
My bad. Hold on.
And next time, don't be spending that much money. No damn pretzels cost that much yet.
Break it down, Devontae. So we're talking about choosing love versus falling in love. Say next time, know what? Did you say Miss Anytime?
I ain't saying nothing.
I think she was talking. I think Miss Kia was talking to someone else. Something
I was
about
talking to my son. He done paid like $30 for some chocolate covered pretzels from one of his coworkers, and I was like, boy.
Right now she's coexisting with somebody.
Right. Definitely don't like my kids when they 30 and don't want to wash their butt. Get out of here. I don't like it. Don't wash his hair. Smell like trash. You want to be around me. I don't like
say wash
Go.
your ass.
Go.
Don't be spending my money.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's his hard-earned money. It's just that, you got to understand the value of $1. Like, the money you just spent for some chocolate-covered pretzels that, you can get from the store is ridiculous.
They must be delicious.
Social value is the real thing.
I could have made that shit myself. Like,
so he got it from his coworker. Though it's not just
pretzels.
Maybe he fell in love with the chocolate.
I got the chocolate in the closet. I could have made it myself.
Maybe he fell in love with the chocolate.
But you hold on. Value isn't just for the item. That person probably meant something to your son or something else.
Shit.
I would ask. I'm telling you, that's a great question. Because there was a value associated to why that person would even be a yes or even offer it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I would dig it.
My son, he's just really like he loves his job. He's just really nice. But at a certain point, I'm still teaching him. Like, just because you love chocolate covered pretzels, that's it. I could have bought those from the store. I could have made them myself for you. He could have got them for free $99.
Yeah, that's you though.
That didn't happen. He got it for where he got it from because
but he got it.
From.
Yeah, and that's what he wanted. But I have to tell him like $28 for 12 pretzels at the store. They only charge like $10.
Yeah, well, like
so you overpaid.
You keep saying you could have made it, but you didn't.
I told him I could have made it.
Coexistent in there with you.
He didn't even tell me. Look. No, he didn't tell me because
let's look at the reality. Because you're saying, "No, I got the chocolate in the closet." He got chocolate covered pretzels, but you didn't make it.
I know.
Maybe he don't fuck.
But the principle
with you.
There's a lesson behind it because first of all, he didn't tell me until I went through his bank statement, and I was like, we have to make sure.
A bank statement. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, I handle my son's finances. My son still live with me, so he's not. He has an intellectual disability. So to him, it's all like, I have my own money, so I'm going to spend it. But you really don't need to spend that $28. That could have been on something else.
A lot of people got
that's good financial advice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm teaching him. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
look,
teaching him
that-
that don't waste your money on something such as that. That $28 could have went to
Yeah,
something
that's
else
good
that you
financial
needed.
advice.
That
You know what I
$1
mean?
could have struck the
Yeah.
lotto. Anything it could have would. You buy things all the time that Hakeem, what up? You buy things all the time that you may. You know what I mean?
And
May
there's
not
something
see,
such as
hold
that.
on, but
Yeah,
you can't put that on him because he spent his money that he
no,
earned on something that he wanted to get.
yeah, but something such as that, mommy could have bought that for
It
you, or I
doesn't.
could have made
Mommy
it
could
for
have, but
you.
mommy didn't. Is the
But
point?
it's not in your budget for that month because you have other things that you got to pay for. He need to buy a new cell phone because he cracked his cell phone. So instead, now he got to
Miss
wait.
Kia, we feel you. Miss Kia, hold on. First preference, let her know that she's heard. We feel you. Because I got the same thing with my teen cousin. I feel you. I 100% feel you.
Yeah, like I said, it's good financial advice, and we get that.
Totally get
yeah, I think we're just fun.
understand.
I want to dive into this topic though about
And he's still young, but it's just also I don't want you
Empress, I love it. I don't know.
Miss Kia has
wrong
an
financial
innate-
decisions.
She has an innate ability. She has a talent. Miss Kia has a
That was
talent.
a-
We're changing the topic on us.
Go ahead.
I wasn't trying to. You
didn't. You didn't.
You
Miss
good.
Kia, can I ask
You
a
know I'm fucking
question?
with
Is
you.
it okay if I ask a question?
Sure.
Have you ever fell in love?
Once I was.
Anyone else experience falling in love? I just want to kind of get out of the way that we understand what that means versus choosing, just like you said.
No.
Like I said. Oh, come on.
The question.
Choosing love versus falling in love. So let's get into it. Choosing love versus falling in love, y'all. So like, what is the difference between choosing love and falling in love? Have you? Can you tell us about a time that you experienced falling in love and you experienced choosing love? What is the difference between the two? What is your definition? I asked the different people's definition of love. People have different definitions of love. Some people really don't know what love is in the broad aspect. Some people love is conditional. Some people love is unconditional. Some people love is transactional. You know, so people experience love in different ways, or think that they're being loved in different ways. You have the things called the love languages, but what is actually love? So, choosing love versus falling in love. Miss Anytime Anywhere, you picked it. Go ahead. You want to rock out first?
Sure. So I'll answer the multi-layered question to Empress. Have I fell in love? Yes. I fell in love twice. Choosing love. And I think I chose love both times. I think it's a choice. My first time I fell in love, I was 18. I was 19 actually. I was 19 at an internship at college. The person I said I love you to, I'm gonna marry. Wasn't the first girl I had sex with, but it was the first girl that I said I love, which was like the second or third. I think she was the third woman, and that was it. I said I love you, and the person that I said I love you to, I was gonna marry. I did. I was with her for 9 years before I proposed. In another 9 years, we were married, got separated, divorced. Separated in the 8th year, divorced on the 9th year. So all together, total of 18 years. Right now, I'm in love again. About 2 years later, and authentically, for me, authenticity means when I'm real about how I feel on the inside, the stuff that isn't really human. Like I'm scared. I got fear. I'm nervous. I don't know what it might be. Am I moving too fast? So authentically, am I in authenticity? That's what I'm feeling. So I don't know of the choose. I think it's all a choice. I know. I'm now like my former wife, right? I love her. I love her. Never stop loving her. Never stop loving her. Being in love though, like falling in love with her, it's impossible. She's not here. I can't continue to fall. I can't fall in love or do any other choice things because she's not present in order for that to even be a reality. And neither am I wishing for her to be here in that context. So now I have a new love. Like I play early in the morning to my kids. I play early in the morning to my kids when I would wake up to work out. They didn't know the meaning of the song, but I'll be working out. Because she left was a condition of them. But she like, yo, if you either them or me, you get to choose. right? So let's talk about love and choosing. I'm about to lay this thing heavy. So here now I had to choose between kids, family, or my former wife. That was her ultimatum. Was that love? Maybe for her. You need to protect her peace. Long story short, I play early in the morning. We out there working out with the kids, and they don't even know it's about finding a new love. Yeah, no clue. They just hearing the music, working out. Now,
See me out here.
look, yeah. Go King B, go King B, go King. You know, so but that's what the song is about. Like I gotta wake up early, undercover, and early in the morning. But my point is saying that is choosing love over and over and over again. I did that with my former wife, and I plan on doing it with my new girl that I plan on being my wife. So I think it's a choice. I hope that answers the question.
All right. And what about, have you ever fell in love before?
Yeah.
Huh? Like.
Nah, I don't think I ever fell in love. I think I chose love each time. So, because I never forget my former wife, who she's sexy, beautiful, had all her lingerie on, and she's like, "I love you." It took me like 10 minutes before I said it back to her. Like I had to choose it. No lie, she was sitting there crying and everything. I was like, "I'm 19. I don't even expect like why I really love this woman. I already know that if I say I love her, then that means for me, I'm gonna be committed and I'm gonna be in love. And there's other women I want to pursue just to see what it feels like. I'm inexperienced. Like all of that stuff went through my head. Maybe I'm special, but that's what I was sitting there on the balcony like, am I in love with you? Do I want to choose this? And where does that go? And as soon as I said that, she's like, yeah, there's a woman you got or that you thinking about, you got to cut them off. Should have knew then she wasn't. Should have knew then she wasn't real. If she loved me, she would let me experiment. Like, no, I'm just being funny. She would have let me go. No, I'm just being a
and no shaft.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to your shaft?
That is powerful nigga drink.
So, yo, she was like, I love you.
Yo, that happens. Fact.
Yeah, I love you too.
No, I didn't think about it. Did y'all not have to think about it when the person said you loved it? Like they loved you? Y'all just answered right back. It was already mutually there.
I know. When the first time somebody told me they love me, I was like, I love you too.
Because it's like they put you in an uncomfortable position because you're like, you don't. I was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable.
In that moment, in my mind.
Because people use love so freely, like they say it so freely, and it's not like, do you actually mean it? Do you know what love actually is?
And that's
because people use it so freely, and they end up hurting the people that they love. How can you say that you love somebody and you just choose to hurt them?
Y'all remember the show when they asked the question, "What is love?"
Mm-hmm.
Most answers were something that dealt with someone actually doing something for, or something being done for them. Go ahead, Ms. K, but answer the question though. Choosing love versus falling in love. Talk to us about it. What's the difference in it?
I chose love because that was what I was comfortable with for years. I had fell in love before with someone else. So choosing was all like I chose them because, we had a mutual agreement. We communicated to, start a long-term relationship and just love one another. And just, just for longevity purposes. So we both chose each other to love one another. The love was there temporarily, but then some way, some form, shape, we fell out of love. But the love still remained. And we still both chose each other.
Choosy mom, choose Jeff. My bad.
You stupid.
I came out of nowhere.
I fell in love before with the guy because I fell in love with who he was and how he made me feel and how we both felt in that relationship. Did I love him as much as he loved me? It was still early because he told me that he loved me within like a month. And I was like, bro, like,
Well,
you don't. Like, you don't. But we both fell in love with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just how he protected me. It wasn't about nothing materialistic. It's about like the love languages and about what we did for each other and how we communicated with each other. So it made us our bond stronger and we fell in love with each other. I was able to experience that with that person. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Opposed to me just choosing somebody like, okay, because I'm in my comfortableness. Like you can be comfortable with somebody and you don't have to fall in love with them, but you chose them at that moment because that's what you're comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
And until you get out of that comfort zone, you don't know if you actually fell in love with that person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's really a difference of choosing and then falling in love with somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And each person that you do, like, even if you have multiple partners, you like, I chose them and I chose to fall in love. You chose them, but did you actually fall in love with them? What did you fall in love with? Was it their personality? Was it their character? Whatever it is, you fell in love with them for a reason. And it could be just based off of energy. It can be based off their energy. It could be like the small acts of kindness or, you know, them just calling you to make sure that, you know, that you're up for work on time or starting a car. Like you fall in love with the little things that make the relationship work, you know, and then you have that tunnel vision for them. So whereas you choose somebody, you might not have that tunnel.
I like where this went there.
You might not have that tunnel vision for that person that you choose, but the person that you fell in love with, you had that straight tunnel vision. So every time, even if y'all are not together and the love's still not there and you see them, it's like time stops again. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a different type of feeling when you're choosing and you're falling in love with someone.
All right, go ahead, Empress. I like that, Miss Kia.
Wow. I like that, Miss Kia, too, about the tunnel vision. Yeah. But I think for me, it's the opposite. I have to have some sort of magnetism happen. I don't know if you want to call that an attraction that's beyond physical. There's a magnetism that happens and there's something that goes through me. Literally, I feel it in the beginning at the time where it doesn't take me that long to kind of know that this person literally has this magnetism with me. That has to happen first. If I don't have that, I'm not even going to attempt to try to even get to know you further, not in the way that's more than a friend. So if that happens, and for me, that's rare. It's rare. It doesn't happen that often. I mean, years and years and years. But if that happens, I know then that I'm falling in love. Now, if I choose to allow this person to have access to me and completely open my door to give them access, you know, or, you know, both of us are just like open to each other. It feels good. It feels good to know that, I guess it goes back to that word reciprocal, where you're feeling exactly the energy they're putting out. But at the end of the day, there still has to be this decision as to whether we're going to be exclusive. So then you still are sort of making a decision about that part. But as far as falling in love, it's something that is out of this world. It's otherworldly. And my love language is words of affirmation. So I'm a sapiosexual. If you talking a good game too, and I'm already feeling that, if we can vibe, if our communication is on an emotional intelligence level, it's sinking in for me and it sticks. It sticks. It's not something that I can douse away. I would have to make a decision to just choose not to follow up on it. But if I'm choosing to fall, or I mean, if I'm choosing love, I feel like I'm honestly I'm just settling for less. I feel like I'm not settling for less necessarily, because there are people that you feel like aren't less per se, but I'm settling for something less than that magnetism that happens. And I don't ever want to do that. I'm not settling ever.
Okay. KR, trying to add you to the live, my G.
You got somebody else already on there.
Oh, who's on there?
Some lady, I don't know, light skinned lady.
Who's on the live?
Renaji,
Oh, Ronnie.
Ronnie,
Oh, no, I think she's the
Ronnie
guy.
Jobson.
Are you on the live, Ronnie?
Hey, yeah, hey.
Hey,
I
Ronnie.
decided
I
to.
can't see you.
Hey, how are you? I know. I'm in. I just joined. I was listening to these phenomenal women speak on your podcast, and thought I would chime in and listen to you guys. You know, I don't know if they know, but I started following you a few months ago, and I was just like, oh, I have some time on my schedule to listen to this, and this is good. Let's do some juice. Yeah, these are some really great topics tonight. Sometimes I'll fall off because you guys are having such a good time, but I'm listening to them and I'm soaking it all in. So it's really interesting.
Okay.
But thank you guys. I'm just on the back end listening, but I did want to say a few things because I'm listening to you guys. And what she said about affirmations are so true, that you need to speak things into existence. And, you know, our words have so much power. So that frequency is important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, matter of fact, Ronnie, tell the people who you are. And matter of fact, Saved by Grace, what up, my G? Happy New Year to you. I do know a photographer and videographer. I'll get at you after this. Hit me on the inbox. Pause. No Diddy. But Ronnie, go ahead and tell the people who you are. You know what you do, and then let's talk about choosing love versus falling in love.
Yeah, so my name is Ronnie from Ronnie's Revelations. I'm also an owner of a dog boarding and a dog accessory company called Ronnie's Rascals in the DMV area. I also work for the federal government, been 15 years in, and I'm also a survivor of child and sexual abuse, and I'm a newly divorced woman. And I'm 47 years old. So those are the big things about me. I do support the Maryland legislative agenda for women. So I support a lot of women in their different organizations to ensure that we empower our women in the community. I'm half Jamaican and Indian, so I have a very diverse background about myself. So that's my that's my whole thing about what I'm trying to do now is you know, I come from humble beginnings, and I know about being in poverty in the DC area. And now it's just my turn to give back to my community. You know, there are so many challenges we have and we face, and that's what I do. And I met Juwanza in that moment of giving and servitude. So now with the dog business on the side, that tends to be something that I do out of love and passion. I don't do it so much for the profit, but it does help people that are survivors like myself. Having an animal or a pet companion really helps that. And it helps your relationships too, you know. So that's enough about me, and back to the broadcast.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So choosing love versus falling in love. Let's talk about it. So, like, what does that look like for you? What is the difference between choosing love and falling in love? And tell us, you know, is there a time where you chose love or you fell in love?
For me, I would just tell the ladies, I'm 47. I've been married 3 times, right? I've been married 3 times, but I've only been in love twice in my entire life. I've only been in love twice. I've cared for men. I've had feelings for men, but that choosing to fall in love or fall in love, people use love so easily, that word love. You know, we can love the world. God loves everyone. We all love everyone. But being in love, sharing every part of your essence under God, that's deep. That's heavy to me. Mm-hmm. And I was raised on a basketball court with men, and I know the player's manual, and I grew up with men, and you can grow up with bad men, you can grow up with good men, and I grew up with a good woman as a mother. So I can tell you, falling in love is just not easy to me. I just don't
it takes a lot to fall in love. But choosing to love, you should want to love everybody. There's a capacity that you can love different people on different levels. But if we are God's children and we embrace what we have, the power in us, loving people is just genuine. That should come naturally to all of us.
Okay. All right.
I agree with that. That is very. I want to just give claps to Sister Two for everything that she's accomplished and everything that she survived, and I'm very proud of you as a sister.
Thank you so much.
Let's go and drop the bob, and also for the Jamaican side. There you go. So, and thank you for that. And thank you for being vulnerable as well, and giving us a backstory. So choosing love versus
Johnny,
falling in love.
how long I wanted to ask her, how long was you married for? So, marriage is really tough. The first marriage, I've been married 3 times. Unfortunately, it's a long story, but I married my son's father because my mom's from India, and I was very young as a young mother. I met my mother tried to arrange me to an Indian man when I was like 19, and I didn't want her to. And this was after my father had passed away and years gone by. But my mother tried to arrange me, so I jumped in, got married to my son's father, and I was not in love with him, but I married him and had my son, and was only married to him for a few years. And then I had a brief marriage, but an annulment to a man that I was dating off and on for almost 20 years. Oof. And then my third marriage was someone I was totally in love with, the second man that I'd ever been in love with. And I married him, but unfortunately, he has an addiction to drugs, and he likes. I'm a Jamaican Indian, so I'm attracted to certain men, and me and him did not. Although the magic between us is beautiful, our paths, our journeys don't coincide, and so it was hard for him. We bonded in brokenness. So during the time I was healing and dealing with challenges of life, I found someone that could understand the core of me being a survivor of child and sexual abuse. It's really hard to trust someone when you've been violated by people you love and care for and you think and believe you can trust. So here I am finding a man that I bonded with during that brokenness. And you think because it's just like, oh my God, I'm in love. And I married him, but I married someone I bonded with during the time I was broken, and he helped me heal, but he didn't heal himself. So although I healed and moved on and found that survivorship of healing, he did not. And then he subjected himself to drugs. And that's why I say I've never been able to fall in love. I've only been in love twice. And in those 2 times, you just can't easily fall in love. To me, that just doesn't happen.
So do you feel like it was like you had chose to fall in love, or was it, was it a choice, or did you actually fall in love?
I mean, I fell in love. I didn't love him instantaneously. There was chemistry instantaneously, but I fell in love with him because I was able to. When you grow up in life, some people, I don't know all. Like I'm on this phone call right now, but I don't always just share intimacy and share my life with someone and divulge certain things that I protect very closely, but you get to a point if you can actually share your ugliness, your flaws, your discrepancies, your inaccuracies, your complexities, and you can actually just be raw with someone 100%, and you can feel that trust. I mean, I think you can fall in love with someone like that.
I absolutely love that. I think that definitely is beautiful. That's how that magic continues to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And choosing love versus falling in love. Falling in love when you're constant with somebody, Like you falling in love could be accidental. It may not have been supposed to happen. It could have been on
But you know,
purpose.
Jawaza, the question is just because you fall in love with someone does not mean that that person's supposed to be with you for a lifetime.
Oh no,
You
that's
can
right.
be, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you could choose love. I have a lot of friends that have been married for years, but that wasn't the person they were in love with.
Mhm.
That was the right person for them. So choosing to love and choosing to fall in love is the question is, do you stay in love? Do you stay there?
Well,
Do you know what I'm
the
saying?
thing with
And
that
is it unconditional?
the thing is, the tricky part behind that is when you're married, like you said, your friends are married. So if they're married, what up, Alan? Happy New Year. When you're married, it's a completely different ball game. And see, a lot of people don't understand that you can when you love somebody and you're married to them, you're not gonna all because you're not you may not fuck with them on certain days, you may not like them on certain days. It doesn't mean that you don't love them, right? You don't have to be in love with the person that you're married to. See, in love, falling in love is more of an infatuation stage, right? To fall in love with somebody, you could only do that once. Like you can redo it again, but that's after a point of going through the emotions and the feelings that's behind falling out of love with them and then refinding that love again. But that means you're choosing love again. Every day you have to choose love when you're with somebody. Two-tone, what up? So when you're choosing love, when you choose love, when you're married to somebody, you have to choose them every day, every moment. And that's why so many divorces happen because people forget to choose love. They're choosing themselves.
I think that's a perception, though. That may be your perception because everybody's different.
I'll break it down for you.
It could be because it's also based on other people's lifestyles and values and morals and beliefs.
I'll break it down for you. You choose love. It's not based off of a temporary thing. It's not based off of monetary things. It's not based off of what's being done for you. It's not based off of any outside aspect rather than I choose to love you. Follow where I'm going with that. You choose to love somebody, it doesn't matter how you feel about them in the moment because you're not always going to feel in the utmost about everybody you're dealing with. You're not.
That is very true.
You may
true.
not be able to, you may not stand that person in that moment. I can't stand your fucking guts right now. You may want to take a knife and just slowly grind that motherfucker in they rib. But you choose to love them regardless of how you feel about them in that moment. See, so many people go based off how they feel in the moment. But love is not a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
People think that, oh, I don't feel the love. You can't feel love because love isn't a thought.
Hey, Vajon, y'all, I'm going to head up on out of here.
What's
Y'all
up?
have a great night.
You
Don't
too.
tell me what
All
to
right,
do.
it was nice talking to y'all. Shut up. Good night, y'all.
So when you fall in love with somebody, it's usually because of an array of things that or an event of things that you're allowing to happen, that you're welcoming in your life, even if it's at the wrong point. You could be married and fall in love with somebody else. It doesn't mean, like you said, that you have to choose them. Or because you fall in love with somebody doesn't mean that you should be with them. You may be falling in love with the things that they do. It's infatuation at the time. You may fall in love with the things that they're doing. But how well do you really know somebody until you're going through all the gambits with them?
I think if I could interject that infatuation, let's keep this clear, it's like two sides of a coin. One side is a bit of us over mesmerizing, and that begins in the mind and in your emotions, right? But then the other side of that coin of infatuation is about feeling a frequency, feeling the energy, feeling the magnetism, and acknowledging that.
How can you feel a frequency?
It's something that's indescribable. I felt it only the times that I was in love.
How can you feel it?
And it has nothing to do with, let me agree with you on the other point though. For me, marriage, let's take that out of the picture. That's definitely a choice that you're making for whatever reason. We're just talking about love or falling in love, choosing love or falling in love. We're not talking about marriage. If we could remove that, sidebar for a minute.
Let's remove that.
So to me, or for me, and I know this is just me, maybe everybody doesn't agree with me, there is absolutely something that is happening that's not a physical feeling in your physical skin or body. I'm not talking about that part. There's something that is almost like when you get that feeling that something's telling you you shouldn't go around that corner and you acknowledge it. That's not really a physical feeling. We're not Spider-Man. It's not, spider senses or tingling. And that could happen, but I'm not talking about that kind of a feeling. And maybe feeling isn't the correct word, but there's definitely a time, or have been times in my life where I knew I was falling in love. And it had absolutely nothing to do with whether this person reasonably had qualities that I would have looked at a list that maybe, how men and women kind of make a mental list, maybe not a physical list of certain things, at least 3 or 4 things that they, have to feel like they want. It throws that stuff out the window and makes you really look more at honing in and growing and watering and feeding this seed. Okay. And to me, that's what falling in love. But you still, at the end of the day, have to make a choice. Am I going to water it? Am I going to see it grow? Am I going to nurture it? Am I going to, it goes back to that other question. Can you fix someone? If there was something you didn't like about them, are you going to accept it? When you're in love, you're going to try, like you said, to coexist even with that one issue. You're going to try to see if you can grow past it. Maybe you can open up and have a communication. Some people, go to therapy if they think they can't communicate it well. But to me, it throws reason out of the window. And that's the difference, I think, between falling in love and choosing to love someone.
All right. And so Veda says, I do think falling in love is a feeling, meaning you can choose to nurture the act, nurture and actively maintain that love with someone once those feelings develop. And you could choose to stay in love with someone even when the initial falling in love phase passes. All right. So in response, and not saying in debate to anything any of y'all said, reason why I say falling in love is infatuation is because think about the falling part. All right. Now, being in love, I believe is what you two are mostly talking about. The actual being in love aspect of it is different than falling in love.
You might be right because I don't know if I fell in love.
I'm not necessarily talking to be right or wrong. I'm just giving my thoughts.
Yeah, I to me, it seems when you use the term falling in love, it's almost as if it's more so like, I don't know, like entertainment world. Like it's not reality.
Yeah,
that's not reality.
And that's why I say it's infatuation, because when you fall in love with somebody, a lot of times and the one thing that keeps going around is feeling. Now think about it. Everyone's saying the feeling of falling in love, the feeling of when your feelings are nothing more than your thoughts.
But maybe falling in love is just a sense of romanticism. It's just romantic.
And that's the reason why It's an infatuation. It's something that's
It's a term.
it's something that's intriguing you and catching you in the moment. All right. It may not even really be love. It may be infatuation. It may be
Well,
something else.
you don't think it's passion? Like it's got,
It
for
could be
me,
passion. It could be
because it can
passion.
happen in conversation sometimes with me. I'm not even with that person physically.
It could be an array of a lot of things. It's not saying that it's a wrong thing. Because like I said, you could be married to somebody and then fall in love with, or have the feeling, like you all say, the feeling, the thoughts of falling in love with somebody else because of the things they may be saying to you, doing in those moments, and they're not, and you don't have all the time around them. That's where the whole 80-20 rule comes into place, because they're satisfying something that's momentarily missing, or you think that you're missing in your life at the time. Now you could be single. Now hold on. Now you could be single and still go through those same things. But the reason why is because what is your mind being subjected to? What is your mind being open to in those moments to have you feel it's like, you know what? Because this person is doing everything I wanted someone to do. Maybe I think I love them. When love,
I don't think it's completely thinking. I think you're right about what you're saying, though. But I think that the falling in love part is just more than a feeling. I think it's something that I can't explain, but it's definitely more than a feeling. It's not like a thinking feeling. But I think you're definitely right about that last part that you were saying, that we're over obsessing over this idea that, one, falling in love is a real thing, which we've been kind of programmed since we were little girls to believe that the Cinderella story. And we do believe that somebody's going to come along and change your thoughts about, he's going to see only you. He's going to have eyes only for you. And this is, they've kind of programmed us as to what it is. But I'm talking about something I've personally experienced, which may just be something I can't explain, but I get both sides of what you're saying. And I mean, like, something literally, it's only happened to me literally. I can count on my one hand how many times it's happened in my lifetime. And like the other sister said, it's only like 2 or 3 times that, when you become a grown woman, it's only happened that many times because it's not just something that you're thinking about. It's something literally uncontrollable. And maybe it's something that women are experiencing and that perhaps men haven't been programmed to experience.
No, we're not going to. Well, the thing is, women experience a different type of passion. I'm not going to say love, because we can get into this topic of who loves harder. And listen, love is more than just, love isn't a feeling at all, first off. And that is where people get it mixed up.
Well, Jawanza, I've been.
Hold on. Let me break it down for you real quick.
Break it down.
Yeah, so,
break it down, LeVon.
And break it down.
So Invader says, I think people, before having of loving someone, you must love yourself first. And that's what I'm going to get into, because it's easy to always say that, right? And that's why I said love is not a feeling at all. It's not a thought of love. You could think what love is. And that's the reason why I had the topic on the show about what is love. And no one can give an actual answer on love. People talked about receiving things being done for them. So in the same thing that they say you have to love yourself for, which is love, is not the same thing that they're willing to give to someone else or receive from someone else. So how could that be love? So you got to realize that when they say you got to choose love versus falling in love or being in love, there's a difference between falling in love and being in love. All right. And that's the reason why I was saying, like, I think you kind of had it the other way. Now, that's just my thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right or I'm wrong here. It's just my thoughts. Love isn't something that you just, love isn't something that just takes place because, you know what, this person is being like this to me. This person is doing these things that I want them to do. You can do things for people that they want and still not even love them. You could just be trying to pop, be trying to get something from Alan. What up, my G? Happy New Year. It could be because you want to gain something from them. Love is something that you're choosing to do. Like, you got to choose to love God. You got to choose to love your children. You got to choose to love your parents. You got to choose to love yourself. So how is it that you can't choose, that you don't have to choose to love somebody else? You can't just be in love with somebody else and then that's just that. Because there's going to be those moments that you don't fuck with somebody and you still got to be like, you know what? No matter what this person had put me through, I love them regardless. I'm choosing them. I choose you, baby. Y'all love my shows? Listen, look me up. I'm in the phone books. All right?
But Dewan, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. And then I'm gonna
so here's the thing. Now that I've been trying to understand, because you hit some good markers on love, but one of the things I used to get so frustrated about with the word love, and like you say, falling in love or choosing love. So I started just started going into this whole Buddhism thing and the word love. And then what they taught us is the spectrum of what is the opposite of love? It's hate. Just like you have joy and then you have pain. And so they said that we in the Western world, we use that word too much, where we should be using the word compassion, or we should be using other words, because when you use that word love, falling in love, choosing love, you can flip that to the whole other spectrum, and the outcome is hate. And so they say that we need to stop using that word so lightly like that, choosing love, falling in love, being in love, because there's always that opportunity for you to be in the realm of hate, because that's the opposite of it.
And honestly, if you think about it, a lot of times when somebody say they love you, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that they may be plotting on you. A lot of times when people say they love you, those are the main people that can hurt you, right?
Truthfully so.
That is true.
So how isn't it the case that those ones who saying they love you, like the devil knows the Bible, right? Front to back. Every word of it, I mean, it's like the most cunning people and most, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the most, I forgot the word tip of my tongue, pause. But the people who may wow you the most
or manipulate you.
They're the magicians,
they're manipulating you.
The narcissist.
Yeah, as to where you may have the people who love you enough to give you the hard truths, to show you what love really is, but more people reject love, honestly, than accept it.
When the grass is cut, the snakes will show.
Ooh, Alan, don't come on this motherfucker, Alan, and start. First off, I love that fitted. Alan, tell the people who you are, my G, and get busy. Talk to us.
What's up, Alan? You know me. You need construction work in Maryland, hit me up. All for them construction services. We do it all.
All of that. Talk to us, Alan.
What was the topic?
Choosing love versus falling in love.
Choosing love versus falling in love. Okay. I feel like choosing love is somebody that's, I don't want to say desperate, but someone that's insecure, someone that's immature. Because you're choosing love because it's easy. Right? You're choosing the easy road out. In my mind. Like that's what I think. But I agree with, I'm not sure who said it, but you can be in love with someone and that person's not good for you. Like you can love someone from a distance, like you can love them, but that person's not good for you and your future, like none of that. So I don't know. That's a hard topic to really even explain, truthfully.
I get what you're saying.
I agree.
I agree. But like, choosing love is actually not easy. It's actually one of the most difficult things you could do in life. I get what you're saying, though. You're talking about like when you're choosing to still like be attached to somebody, like you can't let them go. Like it's because you may feel as though like you may feel have the thoughts that you love them. You may think that you love them, but it's like it's easier just to stay complacent or with somebody because you may feel as though that you love or think that you love them. But in actuality,
Exactly.
you're in your comfort zone.
Exactly. You're comfortable.
You're comfortable. There's a difference between comfort and love, and I get what you're saying, and I like that you said that.
But also, what she was saying, and I'm sorry, I don't know who was saying it, but like having compassion. We use the word love so much versus using having compassion towards someone, which is what it should be. Like, bro, handsome. You know, I love handsome to death. I tell him all the time, love you, bro. Like, you know, that's just me. You know, and there ain't a damn thing in the world I wouldn't do for him, right? So, but we use that so much now, that word love. But what does it really mean to each person? Each person, it means something different to.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that too. Like everybody has a different meaning to that, and I feel like compassion. I actually like that. I like that you said that because it opened up my mind a little bit when you said that. Like being compassionate versus saying you love someone. Just because you can have compassion towards someone, you ain't gotta love them, but you can have compassion and be compassionate towards the situation, whatever your relationship is. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I like that.
I think one thing I'd like to interject too really quickly is that I think makes sense is I started learning about these things called love language. So if your love language is acts of service and people are constantly, or the person you're romantically falling in love with, we'll say that, and you're falling in love, you feel because they are doing these acts of service, and you may not know that's your love language, and then you just assume that you're falling in love. The same thing with words of affirmation. And when people find out your love language, like the magicians or these sneaky people, those snakes, they're going to attack. That's what they're using to
take advantage of it.
I don't believe in love languages, y'all. It's all a facade. I do believe that people do to you what they like to be done to them, but that's not love. Because if it is love, that's conditional. Because if you're not doing that to them, that means you don't love them. So
now what if we worded it? What if it was worded differently? Because I understand what you're saying that you don't believe in love language, but if it's worded differently, because I understand exactly what she's saying, that certain people will see that that's something that they could take advantage of, and they will continue to do that, so they can continue to take advantage of you. So that's kind of your love language. That's what. Like I'm a doer. Like I'm gonna fix your kitchen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for you.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna like show me all these different appreciations and start like do little things because that's my love language. I'm gonna come do something for you.
I say that because of this, and I see what you're saying, and it should be worded differently, because that's when you say the love languages, right? It's predicated upon someone doing something for you, and if it's not done, that means you don't love them. That's not what love is.
Well, I'm saying that can happen. No, that's absolutely not what love is. Yeah. That's my point. I'm agreeing with you that if you've learned that you love flowers and candy and gifts is your love language, if you've learned you're a gift receiver and you're not receiving gifts, and then you go, well, I don't really like him that much because he doesn't give me anything. Then you're confused about what is in your mind about how you love. And I remember Prince had a song once that said, I don't know if everybody knows who Prince is, but he had a song once that said, love is too weak to define just how I feel about you. It's too weak of a word. So I agree with everybody in saying that. Maybe we need to stop using that word.
It's like a Jones. Yeah, I know I can sing like that. Listen, I do bar mitzvahs, 316s. Look me up in the phone books.
Adore you. That's the song Adore.
Oh, that was Adore.
Adore you. Remember he said love is too weak to define.
Adore,
just to do me into me. You don't remember that?
That's my jam.
I heard that in forever. That's my great uncle.
Mine too.
Wow.
I hope you don't wear the pants though.
Nah, that's too tight.
On them high heels.
So
do them high heels either.
Love isn't predicated upon what's being done, like for you, like or what you get, what you receive. Like someone, it's the same thing as happiness, right? It's the same. Well, in a similar way. I'm not saying love and happiness are the same things. I'm saying along the same parallels of, okay, so if you don't get this, that means you're not happy. So if you don't get this, that means you're not loved. And you got to really take a step back and then look at the things that, like, you're not always going to get what you want from somebody. Does that mean that they don't love you? If you claim that your love language is, touch, and someone doesn't like to be hugged because maybe they just got OCD and it's like now my shirt is wrinkled, you germs, they spraying you. Lysol like a motherfucker, right? Dousing you like.
I feel like the real answer is maturity. Like we all grow up, right? We all been there. We all felt like we were in love at one point in time. Like we all felt like we were in love at one point in time, and then it wasn't really love. We grew up and realized that wasn't love. That was like, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but I know there's a word there.
You could be infatuated.
He said infatuation.
It can be infatuation. You can be just encapsulated.
Yeah, you're infatuated with it. Like, but you grow up and then you start to realize, like, when you get older, like what you want your future to be, like, and what's important to you. Like maybe them gifts ain't so important. Like, maybe getting film ain't so important. Like, if this girl can cook for me and do all this for me, if she cleans the house, maybe this ain't so important anymore. Well, you know what? But at the end of the day, we pick and choose our battles, right? Like you have the good. We learned this back in school. Like you have the good and the bad. You got to weigh it out. You got to weigh out your options. So this girl can really do that really good. How you think she got to be that way?
Practice makes perfect.
Just saying, bro. You get girls nowadays that say, "Oh, I can't cook food. My mom didn't teach me how to cook food." Well, your mom didn't teach you how to suck dick either, but you know how to do that. So, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, but like, you gotta pick out, as an adult, you gotta pick out what you want out of life, and we all want different things. You gotta pick out what you want out of life and what you expect your future to be, and what you want your future to be. And if you have children, you gotta understand, like, who you want their mother to be, who you want their father to be, like, what do you want your future to be, and I think that's very important.
But that's only important if you're planning to get married. It's only important when marriage is on this. If you're thinking about your life path to marriage, it's not important if neither one of you is thinking about marriage at that time. So I think I was asking earlier, let's say if we take marriage or that off the table and you just look at, am I choosing love or am I falling in love? Is what you're saying then that we only fell in love when we were immature?
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, that is a good question. So even after you have kids, like, and you can have kids, and I'm a person that had this situation happen, that I was with my ex for 13 years, high school sweetheart. I did a lot of wrong shit. She did a lot of wrong, but we did not work out. We did not mesh well together. There was no future there. It was lust. It was love. It was comfortability. Mm-hmm. But it didn't work. It didn't work. And we're both friends now. To this day, we're friends. We have our children. We have 50-50 custody. No court involved, no child support, none of that. Like, but we have our kids 50% of the time on both sides. Like, and we're friends. We go to all the sporting events, everything together.
So can I ask you, are you choosing to love her as a friend now and not just the wife now, but you chose to love her now as your friend? So you still choose to love her, right?
That's at the end of the day, like, and I have my woman now. I have a fiance, and I love my woman to death. I love my ex to death. And my fiance knows it. Like, I love
Yeah,
her to death. There ain't a thing I wouldn't do for her. Like,
exactly.
if she needed something, I'd be there to help her. But I had to set boundaries in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I had to set boundaries there.
Well, like
What
because you're with somebody doesn't mean you
what
can't
I'm gonna do.
love somebody else. Like love somebody else and
Facts.
to fantasize
Facts.
about somebody else are two different things. To love somebody
Facts.
else and want to be with somebody are two different things as well. Like you can be married and still love your ex and still love your other kid's parents, and like you're supposed to love them. I mean, like shit, they had your kid,
The mothers of my kids.
or they helped you have a kid. Like I mean, so like for anyone that says, "Oh, I don't love them," that means you probably never did. So like, there's no reason. Like, do I love my ex? Yes, because shit, I was married to her. Like, I mean, but does that mean I want to be with her? No, completely different thing. I mean,
Exactly.
like
Yes.
shit. Do I love like you said? I got love for all of y'all. I love all of y'all on here. Like that mean, but that mean I want to like get with y'all. I want to clap cheeks. I mean,
So Jawanza, give me an example, Jawanza, when you're saying, did you ever fall in love?
Right, so fall in love.
Like you yes, because we're all talking about the choosing love, but I want to know from you, what is it that makes you bring up the topic why you choose love
versus
or falling in love?
So
Give me your experiences on falling in love, or why you don't believe in falling in love. Because I know I did hear you say you didn't believe in the whole term falling in love. Is that correct?
No, I said I don't
Who's
believe
that talking right now? Who's that talking?
That's Ronnie. I can't see it either. Like she's not on my IG fucking up again. But
I just want to know who was talking.
In love languages. I know falling in love is a thing that happens, like is a thing that people believe in or people subscribe to. I'm not saying I don't believe in it. I'm saying that it's more so a fallacy. And I'm saying the reason why I say that is because have I ever like falling in love? No.
Well, what about being in love? Because you mentioned you did understand that part. Because to me, falling in love is the precursor to being in love. You may not even know you're falling in love. To me, at least that's my perspective. If I'm falling in love, I may not know.
Let me clean it up for you. Being in love is when you're in the state of loving someone, right? And in the state of being in love with them, wanting to love them, right? Wanting to give them love, wanting to choose love for them. Falling in love is more so predicated upon the accident of, hot damn, how did this happen? I think I'm falling for this person. That's the reason why I say it's infatuation, because of things that are being done, and now you're thinking about, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, oh, and they're always here. Like falling in love takes a thought in your mind to happen, and it also takes some type of emotion from you as well. I'm not saying it's not a mixture, but what I'm saying is like your thoughts have to take place in that as well. As to where it's like you're thinking about the things that are being done, and now you're placing a value on of your love of, okay, I love them because they're doing all of these things for me. They're always here, and it's like, shit. You know what? Bung, I feel this way.
I think that you care about. I think to me, that's describing someone you would say, I care very deeply about what happens to you.
Have you ever felt as though you fell in love? What did that look like to you?
Absolutely. I mean, it's only happened twice in my lifetime where I've fallen in love. And like I was trying to describe, there was something that it was a magnetism. It's something that is otherworldly. It's something that is intuitive. It's something that it links you, but it is completely without reason, because you don't know them well enough to know whether they would be someone you would choose,
and that's why
as your absolute partner. So it does. I agree with her out of that.
Yeah, no,
I agree with her
100%. I think I've had that same situation where they say, I guess it's a term, he had me at hello. You don't know why this person ain't done nothing for you, and it's not like he was attractive, he had me at hello, but
Think
you
about
know,
this. Think about it. He had me at hello. Let's go there.
My girl had me at who the fuck do you think you're talking to? I'm talking to you, girl.
oh damn, she got you like that.
And we talked for 3 hours.
She was like, I got you like that.
Yes, that's the one.
and we talked for 3 hours. And they talking about love, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Jay, because like it does happen out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck is going on right here? Like, this ain't supposed to be happening.
That is true. That
Like,
happens.
this ain't, I'm not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be feeling like this.
He's saying
I'm not supposed to be feeling like this. And then I started feeling like, and I still, but that's how you know you're in love with someone is after all these years, I still feel like I don't want to go to bed without her. I don't want to wake up without her next to me. Like, this day she pisses me off, and I just look forward to like me coming home, and her just like give me shit about something. Like, you're gonna put this together for me? Like,
yeah, that
do this? Like, you gonna do that? Like, if I didn't have that, like, I don't know. I look forward to that. I look forward to them dumb little arguments. If you're in a relationship, a happy relationship, and people say I don't argue, I don't fight, they're full of shit. Somebody's cheating.
That's
like,
true.
here, that's how I feel.
Arguing does happen, or at least the act of being in a disagreement. If you're not arguing,
there's always going to be disagreement.
Yeah,
I feel like there's such thing as healthy arguments in a relationship. I feel like you should argue about things. You should disagree on things.
You have to be healthy.
You have to learn to miss each other. You have to miss each other.
The thing is, see, like,
but then if falling in love
was choosing love and life.
I think so too. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, so what Hippers is explaining is, and what Ronnie was agreeing with was like that innate feeling. Like, you may get goosebumps. You didn't choose the goosebumps. You didn't think about it. It may just been like something, right? But think about it like this: the presence, something your mind computes quicker than than you realize.
So you could put that. You're stating that in a logical perspective, but I'm giving you some, like, for example, when I told my aunt, who is a spiritualist, she's a yogi, and in Jamaica somewhere where she just she Nam Yam Renge kills up in the mountains, and I said to her, he had me at hello, and in her words were, you might have been with that person in another life, and I know that doesn't make any sense. But people do say stuff like that. Yeah, so I'll just say, like I said, when it comes to the word love, falling in love, being in love, choosing love, compassion, it's all on your values and your moral beliefs. But some people say that connection, you may have been with that person, or there's an existence. But some people are scientifically saying, no, it's just logic. But all I can tell you is,
I don't know.
There's no reason behind it. We can't. The thing is, this is why you may have to leave someone you've fallen in love with. Sometimes, like you were saying, you leave a person you fell in love with because you listened more to reason. So you're falling in love, but getting out of love is a logical act that you're choosing not to participate, continuing to be in love. That is a well thought out decision. But if you're falling in love, there's no reason to it.
Think about
it. And it doesn't always mean that.
Think about this. You may have kids, you may have a family. Even if you're not married, you may have a family, right? And you may have a job that's where you got top security clearance or all this other stuff, right? And then you out there, you walking in and you stumble upon a drug dealer, everybody, you know what I mean? All this other things, but he got the look that you like, and all of a sudden you just taken back. And that presence, the way that he walked past you, the way he may have bumped you by accident, he may say, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, and pick the things up for you, like, you know what I mean, and put it back in your bag, gave it to you and walked past you. and now you just sitting there stuck. This pussy just
No,
wants.
I ran into a guy just a little while ago at the Walmart. Handsome guy. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm from New York. I noticed your style. You from New York? Very handsome. I've met handsome men that I was taken back, but I didn't have that feeling.
I'm not going.
Yeah,
I'm not
that
going.
magnetism.
I'm not going.
What you're stating, Dewanza, is lust.
No,
That was lust.
no.
No, I don't think it's lust. I think I'm just saying that you can find other people attractive.
Hold on.
Okay,
Give me a second.
okay.
Give me a second.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Give me a second. So it's not the lust aspect because you didn't have enough time to lust them in that moment. Like you said, it may just been someone you would walk past and you get that may get the chill. It may have been something just innate, like somebody said, it may have been with them in the past or whatever the case may be. Like you may like I said, your mind registers things way quicker than the eye does.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get it.
Before your retina can register whatever's going on, your mind already processed it, and it's like, and it steps ahead. You already have a feeling about it, and it's like you may fall in love with somebody you have no business even liking. Doesn't mean you're gonna be.
I feel like that is true. That's right.
I feel like every person is different too. So your description of lust could be you, right? So I feel like I'm gonna say this. I feel like men look at things a lot different than women, right? Men look at things a lot different than women, and we don't always say this, but we overanalyze all kind of. Me personally, I overanalyze every situation possible. Women do the same thing, but in different ways. So she could have been walking through there and seen that dude and like immediately felt lust because she's already picturing in her mind. Women don't ever say this, but they picture the same things we do.
Yeah. But their emotion takes put like this. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. It's maybe a little graphic. But climaxing, is that more of a physical thing or a mental thing?
It all depends.
For the most
I've had a man.
I think it's both. I mean, it has to be both.
I've actually been with a man and been in a relationship with a man who could never give me climax. He never had me climax, but he mentally sucked the shit out of me. He didn't make me come at all, ever in our relationship, but I was in love with his mind.
So that's my point.
So he was a narcissist.
No. So
no.
A man can fuck the shit out of you and you not come. Like you could be like, yo, he fucked the shit out of me. Pause. If I'm like, pause. I'm not saying that.
But, all I can say.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. What I'm saying is,
we always get this every time. Somehow, some way, it always goes towards this.
What was the original question again?
But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this, and this is not to get on anything sexual. So I'll walk right back into the next back to the previous conversation. What I'm saying is, you can come as a woman from being mentally stimulated, but you may
agree.
But you can be physically stimulated and still not come. Like if you're not mentally stimulated, that physical stimulation may not be enough. So if you're physically stimulated, you may still need to be mentally stimulated to come. But you can still come being mentally stimulated without the physical. You see what I'm saying? Like you could be getting pounded on for hours.
I think it's to each its own. I think it depends. And I think with women, I think because we're emotional creatures and we're nurturers, it's not always about the climax. It's not always about sex. It is about but you're saying,
What I'm saying is this.
So let me say this. I think I know what you're saying. Okay.
Well, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is like, if a person, if you find that the way in which that person is with you intimately, and you may not have even had intercourse yet, okay? I'm trying to keep it clean. And you love the way that person is delicate with you. You love the way the person's timing is with you, that it matches yours when it comes to moving forward, right? That alone can give you this feeling that it's not a complete climax, but it's definitely very close to what women experience when we are um, feeling like we're desiring to take it further.
Okay,
Does that make
ladies.
sense?
Yeah, ladies. You ever been around somebody and you just have the and you just have the you just have that motion that notion in your body of comfort that no matter what you were good and like you could just like you just
Yes, and that can be misconstrued because sometimes you can think you're comfortable until you're not. But yeah,
yeah,
Exactly.
when I say comfort I mean protected, like well-being, like even like mentally, physically, spiritually,
yeah,
even sexually.
You mean will you feel safe? Are you
Safe,
saying when women feel safe?
vulnerable. Know what I mean, like, you ever just been around a man? It's like maybe y'all could just be out. You could be at the damn Quickie Mart. Know what I mean, you could be at 7-Eleven. You could be at the movie theater. Whatever you are with that person, and y'all chilling. But you just know, like you just have that something in you. Cause see, but my thing is, I don't necessarily think that. I'm not sure if that's a feeling, like a thought. I'm not sure if that's an emotion. It may be a combination of the two. And maybe that's what falling in love, the feeling of falling in love. Maybe that's what falling
no,
in love
that's not
is.
what that is. No, falling in love is not about sexual attraction. It's not
No,
I
about
no,
agree.
no,
I
no,
want to
no,
have sex
no,
with this
no.
guy.
Nothing
It's,
about sexual attraction. I'm not talking about sex at all.
oh, well,
I,
could you clarify for me what you
that's
mean?
that's why I'm saying it could be something innate. It could be something just that is more like I'm saying. It may be an afterthought that and when I say afterthought, not mean that it's something already passed. I mean something in that moment, but you don't realize it. So it's like when you're with somebody and you just feel that comfortable, that vulnerable, that your existence now just relies on them because you trust in that other person that you're around. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if
It's
I'm making
always it's always a chance. We always know that even though, and I think we learn this over time and as we mature, not to always trust what we think is a safe feeling because people have it may have let us
yeah,
down.
but you've
But
been there
if we
before. But
feel
you've
that,
been there before.
but
Yeah,
still,
but
it's
That's
always
what I'm
this.
talking about.
There's always a level of fear whether this person will not protect me and make me feel safe and handle me properly. There
Okay.
is always
Did that
that
come from being
level of
let
there's the
down?
fear.
same thing for a man.
Did that? Yeah.
So for a man, there's this vulnerability that as a man, and I'm gonna speak for all of us here, and if anybody feels differently, then they do. But I feel like I can speak for all men here that as a man, you're supposed to be the comfort, you're supposed to be the provider, you're supposed to be the protector, everything, right? So in order for a man to break down and feel vulnerable and talk to his woman, his other half that he loves, it takes a lot for a man to break down and be vulnerable and tell you certain things and be in that vulnerable moment.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's a hard place to be as a man because you're like,
Difficult place.
should I say this right now? Because a lot of times you're taught at a young age, like at least I was, like you don't show no fear, you don't show anything,
So no
but
emotion.
you have to be able to talk to your significant other that you love, you know, you're in a relationship with these fears or whatever you have, like you got to be able to talk about that.
Mhm.
And you're in a very vulnerable situation, like in a very like it's almost like standing on a ledge sometimes. Like either I'm going to jump off this ledge and put myself in this vulnerable place and say that I'm vulnerable. Because as a man, you don't never want to let a woman know or a man know, anyone know that you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
So when you let someone know that, that's a very vulnerable place, and that means you really do love them. And in my mind, in my opinion, like as a man, like that's a rough place to be in.
So fall and so falling in love to bring it back to what everyone is kind of like I said, is more so something that I think it's a mixture of your feelings, your thoughts. I mean, and possibly your emotion too. And then there's the things that are being done because you don't just people say love at first sight is not the same as falling in love. Falling in love it's a development. That's why it's falling. It's happening. It's not fell, like it's falling in love. Like it's developing. It's something that's happening. So it's an event of things that is going on. So your mind has to process these things. That means you're thinking about the things that have been done and that are going on. So when you're falling in love, have I ever fell in love? No. I've never just been like so caught up and infatuated with something that's going on. So it's like I cannot think about what's going on because men a lot of times don't work.
Bro, why did you get married?
It's not.
Why did you get married? If you felt like you didn't never fell in love, why did you get married?
Because I loved. I chose to love. Like I mean, I chose to love that person. I liked the things that was happening. It wasn't like, oh man, I think I'm in love. Nah, I didn't experience that. It's like, like we going through things, I mean, situations, and maybe I wanted it more. So it made my marriage had nothing to really do with what the actual love should have been because that's a different story. You know? But it wasn't about me.
All I hear is that song by Gucci.
Which song is that?
I'm wondering what song you're talking about.
I think I love her. You love me.
I think it's smart. I think
y'all love me.
That's a good bass drop. That whole album was good.
I think it takes a really strong person to be able to reason so much that you would be certain to not fall in love. I think it takes a strong person to decide and make decisions when it comes to their feelings. It takes a strong person to know how to do that. Some people can't compartmentalize their feelings and say, well, I feel you feeling, but I'm putting you on the shelf until we figure out whether we want to love this person or not. Everyone doesn't process love that way.
I think that's true.
Exactly.
Dive
falling
in.
in love more so deals with a vulnerable person.
I agree. An insecure person.
Yeah. Because you got a moment of weakness as to where you're
feeling. And it's like one of the
guys why do you think falling in love would just be a weakness and it's just not? It's not just a life experience.
I mean, he's telling the truth. Falling in love is definitely not using your reasonable, smart decision making. You're just allowing something to happen that you feel, that you instinctively have this magnetism, that you're trusting. So, I mean, you're right. So
you fell for it. How about that? Like that's what you fell for it. You know what I mean?
But you can also fall in love with not just in the sense of person, human, a man or a woman. But you can fall in love with a lot of things. So in a concept of falling in love, only towards a relationship, falling in love can seem non-healthy, right?
Is anyone in this group right now in love right now? Is anyone in this group that we're talking right now in love right now?
Yeah. In love? What do you mean in love?
In love right now. Like,
yeah,
you feel like in a relationship, you're in love right now.
Yeah, I'm in love. I'm in love.
I'll let you answer.
No, go ahead. You lady.
I'm still in love with the person that I fell in love with once in my lifetime, but I chose not to be in a relationship with them because I feel that they don't, I looked at the reasoning, but I looked at the reasoning after the fact, after 5 years, and said, this person's not good for me.
Hey, yo,
if I had used that reasoning in the beginning, but I felt safe. I felt like I could fall in love with this person and it's okay. And I'm okay with the fact that I did it because it was amazing to experience that in my lifetime, and I'll never forget it.
You're a realist.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I fell
into everything, you're a realist.
Thank you.
You look into the future constantly. You think about tomorrow. You think about next year constantly. You don't think about what happens tonight. You think about what's going to happen 2 years from now.
I don't know.
Right?
Who are you directing that to?
You talking.
Oh, no, I was saying I fell in love. Well, I fell in love. I allowed myself to fall in love. And I think I need to add this too really quickly as sidebar. I've always wondered, were women programmed that falling in love was something that we were supposed to do, as opposed to what you said, how men kind of passed the torch to you guys and said, hey, don't you let her know your feelings or else. But we may have been more programmed. Remember, we were programmed into this Cinderella story. So I've learned that I've had to deprogram myself from the Cinderella story. And that's why I said, does falling in love have to do with maturity?
Yeah. Well, look, y'all.
Remember I said that? I said mature.
I believe you. I think I agree with you. Falling in love has to do with a level of maturity, because like I said, I've only been in love twice. And the last time I was in love, it had nothing to do with, when you say, why do you love that person? You know, is it because of what they do for you? Is it because of sex? Is it because, why? And it had nothing to do with any of the things that you could write or define, like you said, like, oh, this person knows how to make me come, is what Juwan said. Or, oh, this person loves me. That's why I'm going to love them, because they love me. You know what I'm saying? I guess what it has to do with you not being like you giving, you doing something for once in your life, being really genuine about being with someone just naturally, not based off of what ifs or what kind, or that person buys me a lot of gifts. Oh, they look out for my kids. Oh, they help me, keep the lights on in my house.
But that's conditional. That's conditional.
Yes, those are conditional, right?
Those are things that most people base love off of. And I had to ask somebody one time, if that person was a vegetable and they couldn't do anything else for you, and like they couldn't have sex, you couldn't kiss, you couldn't talk to you, couldn't do anything, couldn't pay your bills, would you still choose them?
Absolutely, because I'm in love.
Now,
because I'm in love.
Every single person that comes on the live will say they would. I'm telling you right now. But I'll tell you right now, I do know a lot of people that come on live, and I know a lot of them won't. Because I know the choices that they made already. So,
well, social media as well. Social media is one place you can play and pretend to be something that you're not.
I'm talking about men too. Let's be clear.
Well, I personally have experienced a little bit of that, so I already know that's me.
I'm not questioning any of y'all. I'm just saying that I know for a fact that if I ask this question 10 out of 10 times, 11 times, everybody's gonna say yeah. All right. And because I've actually asked it. And some people
But I do love the idea that you brought up, the fact that, if we are believing that falling in love is a thing, if anyone believes that and they have done it, is it really a smart thing to do? Is it a mature thing to do? And I think that's kind of what it boils down to. Yeah. And then you have to ask yourself, am I going to allow myself to fall in love again without reason?
Mm-hmm. Are you mature enough to do it? Yeah. To understand what are you mature enough to do it? Is the big thing. Like, are you mature enough? Have you experienced enough life to understand what love is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the big thing.
A lot of people don't really understand what love is, and that's really what it comes down to. But look, y'all. All right, so thank y'all for tuning in to #Factuals, the one stop for information and entertainment. We call that infotainment and the finest of fuckery. Oh shit, it just got wet. But no, but look, I fuck with y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with me. Empress, outro yourself, baby girl.
Okay,
it was wonderful being on your show. Empress, you are awesome. I think I tuned in because of her, Juwan. I'm just she was on here speaking, and I was like, okay, let me listen. Okay, I'm gonna chime in. But thank you. I appreciate that. No problem.
Well, I'm. So my name is Simoki, actually. It's Empress Simoki, that Seminole and Cherokee pushed together. I do sing, actually, a little reggae and neo soul kind of mix. I've opened up for Marcia Griffiths. I also do have a non-for-profit for young children of Latino and African descent to remind people that these children need to understand what they brought into this world, what their ancestors brought, so they can have a sense of self-worth. It's called ADEO, African Djembe Art History Youth Organization. So I really enjoyed this. I'm going to flag this to the next person, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night.
All right. Good night, guys.
Ronnie, tell people who you are and outro.
Oh, I'm Ronnie's from Ronnie's Rascals, Dog Border Afición, and I am in the DMV. So if you ever need a dog border, that's who I am.
Right.
One of the best.
The best. Dad, Alan.
I might need that one day.
You got it.
But it was nice meeting y'all. It's nice meeting y'all. Ladies, I liked all your input in the conversation, as always. Hashtag Factuals always needs a woman input. It always does. So thank you, ladies, for putting your input in. I'm Alan, 410. So you ever need any construction work done, hit me up. I do it all.
We will. Okay. We're definitely going to need some construction work.
All for them construction services. Look it up. I've got like a Facebook page. I'm working on getting a Google thing going on and everything else. So look it up. All for them construction. You can find it.
Is it the number?
But y'all have a blessed night. It's very nice talking to y'all. And thank you, ladies, for your input.
Alan, is it the number 4 or is it FOR?
FOR. All 4 of them.
I spell the whole thing out, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All 4 of them. Y'all have a blessed night.
I rock with
all right, good night.
Peace. I'll see y'all next week, Tuesday. Easy.
All right.